So what did you miss at Jubilee today? Well, you missed maybe the longest service we've ever had, but a service worth every minute. A celebration of Pentecost. The story in the second chapter of Acts where the Holy Spirit is evident in wind and tongues of flame that sat above them, and the apostles speaking in a variety of languages that everybody gathered could hear and understand. An experience that we don't know how to make sense of. To try and get a feel for it, we had people, young and old, running up and down through the church with big orange streamers and blowing bubbles and making whooshing sounds, and we had people sitting reading the Lord's Prayer in at least 12 different languages aloud, and it was chaotic, and it was somehow beautiful, and it was Pentecost, baby. We talked about what Pentecost wasn't. It wasn't like that relative who sighs and doesn't tell you what's going on, you have to guess. No, Pentecost was clear. It was embracing. We talked about what it was. It was a gift of language where people could hear what they needed to hear, where people could say what they wanted to say, but until then lacked the vocabulary or the inspiration. We talked about how that worked personally. The people in our lives that sometimes we have hurt with our words and other times we have supported with our words, but would we have the words to just tell them how we truly feel? That we could communicate to them the love, the support, the respect. That we could communicate to others the fear, the hurt that we have, that we would have not just the courage, but the words to actually convey. In the story of Pentecost, those words were there. Those words came through the Spirit. We shared that today in our celebration of Pentecost. We searched for the words, for the vocabulary. We recognized the Spirit, and we shared. Today, recognizing the Spirit, we welcome 9 new members to Jubilee United Church, and we acknowledged how everybody who joins the church changes the church if they are willing to share their gifts, if they dare to be open, to be vulnerable, and if they dare to do more than sigh, but speak and share and be. And so we welcome those people who have come to change us. Today we also welcome 2 confirmands, 2 young women who have decided to continue the faith that they were offered in baptism, but to embrace it now as adults. And we told stories about them and their journey that brought them to this moment, and moments when they have said, no, I am not going to do what everybody else is doing. Even though it might sound like fun, I know me, and I know I don't want to do that. We told stories of those times that they've tried something and it wasn't what they wanted it to be, and it was difficult, and yet they endured. We talked about the celebration that we've had over the years together in youth groups and in road trips and in just being together, and how the journey of faith is much like the journey we've shared so far. It's sometimes about enduring. It's sometimes about having the courage to say, no, that's not for me. And it's sometimes having the love, the imagination to go where you've never been before and not be afraid. And so we sang and celebrated a psalm that these 2 young women created, and we laid on hands and we recognized the Holy Spirit, and we applauded them and welcomed them and are so glad that their journey continues with us. We did that today. And then we came to the table. We shared communion. We came to the table to share that meal that is a gift to us, instituted by Jesus, a gift from God, a gift that invites us to recognize the love that is revealed when we are broken, the love that is made real when we pour ourselves out for others. we heard of Jesus and his love and willingness to be broken, to be poured out. We wondered together what it meant, and we marveled at the table. A table small enough to fit into the room, and yet a table so large that all of creation fits around it. We acknowledge that coming to the table can be a challenge because at that table are people that we don't like and people who have hurt us. At that table are people that we have hurt, people that we have yet to forgive, or people who have not forgiven us. We always like a table with the people that we've already forgiven or whose company we enjoy, but this table is God's table and we're all invited to it, and we recognize the challenge in that. And then we recognize that the path to this table runs through Manchester and across London Bridge. It works its way through South Sudan and the Philippines, finds its way through Kabul. It works its way through the heartland of America and Canada. It wends its way through the city streets of Toronto and down alleys and through my kitchen and into our living rooms and into this church. And as we make our way to the table, so often we want to just look forward towards the table and not look around and see where we are. We don't want to walk through Kabul and see. We don't want to walk through the Philippines and look around. We don't want to recognize people who hurt us or offend us or would desire to hurt us. And yet, we're invited to look not just at the table, but all around us. And we're invited to bring those very people that we see with us to the table. With us if they can come physically. With us if they can't, in our hearts. So we came to the table where we shared God's abundance, where we had some for ourselves and we promised to share with others, that together we might recognize that we are all children of God, that we are one in creation. And in that, today, we felt the presence of the Holy Spirit. It did burn in our hearts like flames. It did blow through us like a wind. I know, I'm getting all poetic and crazy. But it was a beautiful day today, and I really wish you could have been with us. But maybe next week, or maybe soon. But please, join us soon, because we miss you. It really is better when you're here. But until we see you again, well, God bless, and look for the Spirit. It's very real. Amen.